Hi, I'm Stefana Johnson, and I'm sharing another success tip for homeschooling so you can stay sane. This one is on policy, establishing a firm policy in your homeschool. It's going to come from the top down because as homeschoolers, you have to lead from the top down, especially when your children are younger. As they get older, if you have put things in place like this policy, then you're not going to have a lot of issues. So by the time that they're 8, 9, 10, even in their teens, you already have established policy in place. And this isn't like a dictatorship. So let me explain this. A policy is essentially something that you're going to adopt for yourself so that if A happens, then your response is going to be B. I'll give you an example of what's on my list of our policy. So for a time, my older son, Ryder, really hated being in his car seat. So it was a struggle to get him in. It was a struggle to keep him in. It was just a struggle all around. And that was incredibly frustrating. And I know that there were times sometimes I'd handle it one way and sometimes I'd be calm. And sometimes if I was dealing with other things and I was frustrated. So there was never any standard of how I would handle it. It was just kind of a response. I would react to whatever it was. If I was calm, I'd react happily, or I'd like do a long, oh, okay, we'll explain and really spend time with them. Or if I was in a pissy mood, we were all hungry, then I'd react like, that's it, you're getting in the car. So I knew that that wasn't an ideal scenario for me to not have a firm policy in place on how I would address this situation. The fact of the matter is, I didn't want to force him into the car seat, and I didn't put him in the car seat if I didn't have to. So that removed that from the piece. And then I looked at, well, what if I needed to get in the car and we need to do this? How am I going to handle this? And what I adopted for myself, and I teach my children, is this policy of coming back to the present moment. So becoming present, taking a breath. That's just a policy for me, is whenever I'm dealing with something that is requiring me to be responsive and ideally respond in a healthy way because someone's getting upset and I am the person that's responsible in stewarding the children or the group of people that I'm with, then it is up to me to stay in that higher energy, in that place that's not reactive and not fighting back or not emotional and like, pushing back with bad energy. So I adopted a firm policy that I would rise up. And so what that looked like for me was that I would just literally take a moment to take a breath in, connect with my heart, whether it was put my hand on my heart or put my hand connected to his heart. Sometimes it would just be connect my heart to his foot. And then take a breath in and say, I love myself and I love my son. I love myself. I love my son, or whatever it was to help me get present to that moment. So that's just one small example of a policy, and a firm policy that I had put in place for a circumstance that I was dealing with on a regular basis. So that I knew without a doubt it closed the door on any kind of negative reactive response, and it really put in place for me an instant policy. So my reaction became take a breath, put my hand on the heart, connect, and knowing that my intention was to get us to a place that we were going, we weren't just going so randomly. I wanted us to be in that connected place. That is connected to my overall goal, which we'll get into in the next tip. So in the next video, I'll talk about how you want to establish goals, and knowing your overall picture of what you want to do, it's so much easier than to set firm policy. So for myself, another firm policy I have is never give up. Never give up on my child, never compromise with my own integrity and my values when it comes to my children. So there's lots of opportunities every single day for our children to be influenced by things that are not optimal and that are not aligned with our values. And if you've been teaching your children values, and I think you should always be teaching your children values, the way you talk, the way you live, they should learn from the way they live, then this is how you adopt your policy. So in your workbook, the top of your page, you're going to write policy. So what does that policy mean? If you haven't cleared the word, make sure you look it up in a dictionary, look at the derivation, clear it with your children. What kind of policy do you want to have in your homeschool? What kind of policy do you want to have for yourself and for your children? This is not like rules. This is not like dictatorship. This is a policy that keeps the unit, the family unit, the homeschool unit thriving. That's the purpose of policy, right? So that you can achieve your goals. Okay, I hope that helps. I'm Stefana Johnson. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.